5,011 people in this study where they found that 29% improvement in fatty liver by just making a moderate change. Now, the evidence was quite strong to begin with that stress influenced fatty liver. But with this study, we saw that simple changes to sleep impacted fatty liver tremendously. Now, I know I gave the answer away, but I did that on purpose to be a nice guy. Please stick around through this video. It really actually damages the channel a little bit if you just get the answer and then click off. I know you trust me and I appreciate that you just need the answer and then you can go, but stick around, drop a comment for the algorithm, help this channel out. It really does do a big number. So what can we learn from this? The first thing that we learned is they took a look at these people, 5,011 people. They said, okay, they have fatty liver. But what they noticed is that the more like sleep disturbances and overall sleep problems they had, the higher risk they were for more severe fatty liver. Like it was pretty strong correlational data there with over 5,000 people. And then what they saw is that if they just made one or two little tweaks and there was a moderate improvement to sleep, moderate improvement, it decreased their risk of fatty liver by 29%. Why is this the case? We'll get into it and we'll get into what you can do because it extends past sleep. Sleep just highlights what the issue is. Down below, I put a 50% off link for Create's creatine stick packs. Now they have creatine gummies still as well, but I like the stick packs now because they're sweetened only with monk fruit. So nothing to it but 5 grams of creatine that you can put in a water bottle, you can put wherever. It's pure creatine from a CreaPure form, which is a patented form of creatine monohydrate. This is the best quality creatine that I've had, and it ends up being ridiculously affordable. It's like, what, 65, 70 cents a serving or something in a stick pack that's portable for you. Because I like to microdose it throughout the day. I put it in a water jug and I sip on like my 5 to 10 grams, 15 grams sometimes of creatine throughout the course of the day. I find that I don't retain as much water that way from creatine. I just get all the benefits, cognitive, muscle, all that stuff. So that link is down below, very exclusive 50% off discount link. You're not seeing that anywhere else on the internet, that kind of discount. So that link is down below, top line underneath this video. So what we've been able to do with sort of this data and even other data that I've found and guests that I've had on this channel, I had a Harvard sleep scientist on this channel who is an expert in REM sleep. What we know is that REM sleep, deep sleep too, but REM sleep really influences metabolism and insulin dynamics. So what do we know about fatty liver? Well, it's not so much that it's a liver problem, it is indirectly. It's a metabolism problem, it's an inflammation problem, and it's an insulin resistance problem. So all those three things are very closely intertwined. And what ends up happening is with our REM sleep, that disrupts insulin dynamics. So even a perfectly healthy person that is not sleeping well is going to have a marked decrease in their insulin sensitivity in the subsequent day and days after poor sleep, let alone if it becomes chronic. All it takes is one night of poor sleep to reduce your glucose tolerance significantly. If you have bad night of sleep, think about what's going to happen. Your insulin dynamics are so far off that the liver isn't able to utilize the carbs and store them properly, and it goes through a higher rate of what's called de novo lipogenesis, where it stores more fat. So the first thing that I want to suggest, get better sleep. We'll talk about how to do that. But on the days that you do not sleep well, it is imperative that the following day you reduce your carbohydrate intake during the day at least. Let the carbohydrates come in at night if they help you sleep or something like that. That's fine. But it is so imperative because you are skewed. Your insulin dynamics are off. So if you had a bunch of carbohydrates, you're not going to respond the same way you normally do, even if you are a healthy person. Now, there's going to be times where you're an athlete where carbohydrates, maybe they're part of what you do. That's fine. I'm talking about for regular people here. You slept poorly, reduce the carbohydrate intake. The thing is, the carbs are going to want to come in. You're going to want to consume those carbohydrates on the nights you don't consume sleep because you mess with your ghrelin levels. You mess with satiety hormones and signals. Everything in your power is going to say, oh, eat the carbs because it's going to make you feel good. And it's going to blunt the cortisol as a result of that. I get it. But that's where you have to just drill this into your head. When you control sleep, you reduce the risk of fatty liver by 29%. But that's probably only because people that are sleeping poorly are still not changing their diet. You can control this by adjusting your diet on the days you don't sleep well. I could tell you till I'm blue in the face, Jim, sleep better. Mary, sleep better. Rose, sleep better. You know why I don't like content on sleep? Because it gets us to obsess over sleep. And it's not as easy as people make it sound. You have people that sleep like rocks and they say, just do this, do this. As someone that was a suffering insomniac for years, I get it. I was a healthy person. I am a healthy person. I battled with it. I still battle with it from time to time. It's not like you can just go and watch a video that's going to give you the magic secret. It's funny. You know what actually helped me sleep the most? Is not some gadgety, wiggity trick. Those things work. Supplements work. But what really, really worked was when I was able to lay my head down at night, wake up at 3 a.m., not be able to fall back asleep, but tell myself, you know what? I'm not in control of the situation right now. But what I can be in control of to a degree is what I do tomorrow to lessen the impact of this bad night of sleep. That was a golden ticket for me to be able to say, okay, relax, and go back to sleep. Instead, I used to say, my gosh, I can't sleep. I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to be the way that I used to be 10 years ago when I was 300 pounds. It's all going to come crashing down. I'm going to lose everything. I'm not going to be able to film. I'm going to have dark circles under my eyes. That, anonymous Jack on the comment section is going to make fun of the circles under my eyes. Now I'm like, I have some control over this. I'm not sleeping well tonight. It's fine. And you know what? I can fall back asleep. And I tell you this because that little trick in knowing that you have some level of control in a world where we really have no control over anything, really, but you can logically get yourself through it. If you make these changes where you say, I am not going to eat as many carbohydrates the night or the day after I don't sleep well, I am going to change my workouts to be a little bit more strength-oriented versus cardio-oriented, so I'm not putting myself at respiratory risk. You have the confidence to do better, but you also can control the negative effects. Less visceral fat, less overall fatty liver, and you're probably going to be able to get through the day better. Now, if you didn't sleep well the night before, too, I also recommend, just like I mentioned earlier in this video, 5 to 10 grams of creatine. We are seeing short-term adding creatine restores some of the brain function that's lost with a bad night of sleep. And it can happen immediately. You get up in the morning, have some creatine. Why does this help you? Because it makes it so that you are more in control with your brain energetics to be able to make better decisions with what you eat. You're not going to be aimlessly zombieing around grabbing whatever food comes your way. As always, keep it locked to here, my channel. I'll see you tomorrow.